Welcome to Newsworthy Stories with Jacqueline Jimenez. When record breaking temperatures gripped the nation and dropped, into the teens and 40s, even here in South Florida, well, our instructions were to stay inside. But for the unsheltered, that was not possible. Nonprofits like A New Beginning Community Outreach stepped in and made sure the homeless were taken care of, especially homeless veterans. And this is something they do on a regular basis. But as I was covering this story, I found out that nonprofit had a need of their own.
When the temperatures dropped across the country, including in South Florida, we were told to stay indoors. But that was not the case for hundreds of unsheltered people who do not have a place to live. Nonprofits stepping up to make sure those who needed it most were taken care of, including A New Beginning Community Outreach. That nonprofit, whose founder was a veteran, wanted to offer help to homeless vets and fill the need for anyone who needed nourishment.
We want to give the people hope, what I'm saying, to keep trying to do what they can do and just let them know that the community is still here for them. We're here for them. A New Beginning Community Outreach is here for them and in the cold with them.
The greatest need is basically food and a shower, and they need to go to the clinic because it's a high homeless population right now. They cannot carry everything at one time. So because of their lack of resources, I think they need to eat, they need to shower, and they need to go to the clinic. So we provide that.
The story and the need capturing the attention of WTVJ's NBC6 in Miami.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, ladies. The volunteers here spending the morning helping the unsheltered population, dozens already using the mobile showers.
They need shelter. They need shelter. The communities need shelter because there's a new law that just came in effect in last November 1st, came in effect that you could be arrested for sleeping out on the sidewalks or wherever in Florida, period. And that is really affecting them mentally. They can't sleep knowing that they may be arrested. So most of the time they wander around and just wander, catch the bus and just wander and try to sleep on the bus or sleep where they can during the daytime so that they won't be arrested at night.
With the help of Showering Love mobile showers, the homeless are not only fed, but able to bathe and receive clean clothes. Volunteers cleaning each shower after every guest.
All their necessities, razors, shavers, deodorants. We have hats and gloves for them today. They get shorts, socks, underwear, hygiene kits. That's all for the men's. And we have the women's as well.
Local grocery stores like Publix, Walmart, and Aldi among some of the largest donors. A New Beginning Community Outreach shares its donations with other nonprofits who have kitchens to cook up a hot meal. But lately, it has been a struggle to pick up the food because their truck's transmission needs to be replaced and it's on recall.
We definitely need a truck. Whether it's a box truck or a refrigerated truck, we definitely need a truck because it would allow us to do even more. We have contracts that we can pick up 10 pallets or more per day of food to give out to the community, but we don't have the capacity with the truck to pick up that type of volume of food to give out to the community. So if there's a company or anybody out there that knows someone that want to donate a truck to A New Beginning Community Outreach, we will definitely welcome that. We need it, and the community needs it.
So joining me now to talk more about A New Beginning Community Outreach is Edward Williams and Lorraine Shaw. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, thank you for having us, Ms. Jackie. We thank you, and we thank Newsworthy for inviting us out for this glorious day.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thanks for coming. I mean, what great work that you're doing on a regular basis. Every week, you're out there, and um, it's important for people to know. I always say that the nonprofits are holding the world together. You step in and you really don't feel the gap. You are the gap. And so it was just great to see you in action for myself, but to also learn about these, needs that you have for yourself. But before we get started on that, can you tell me more about A New Beginning Community Outreach and the founder? What was his vision behind this all?
Yes, the New Beginning Community Outreach was is a 14-year old company, and the founder is Howard Nickerson. Um, he was a veteran, and he found the need when he came out that a lot of things was missing, a lot of things that he couldn't get, benefits, proper health care, a lot of situations that he went through by being a military vet, coming out of the military. So what he decided to do is put some things together, create this nonprofit, A New Beginning, and reach out to assist other people with what he was going through, trying to get his benefits, trying to get proper housing and other things.
And what have you got, Lorraine and Edward? You guys are out there every week. What are you seeing the most, um, that people need uh, that are living on the streets right now?
The need right now is shelters. That is what the unsheltered people, ex-veterans, and non-veteran citizens alike, they need shelter. Shelter is the big thing, because whether it's uh, winter or blazing hot summer, here again they need a safe place to go and to just sleep, because being out here in the elements and um, being taken advantage of is at an all-time high right now for homeless people. And we see last year, just here in Miami, where one person that was sleeping on the street was beaten to death.
Mm.
So again, it's thousands of assaults and robberies to the homeless people, to the unsheltered people, that goes on, that is not even talked about. So yes, they need a safe place to go. They need great shelters.
Yes.
Lorraine, talk to me about uh, I've actually, in my own life, if you will, working through the church, have worked with the homeless for many time, for many years, really. I would have to say my own self for a couple of decades. So yeah, I have a heart for the homeless in general. But what I've learned from the homeless is something that, people don't think about, because I've learned so much from the homeless themselves. And so can you tell me some stories about the people, that you meet every day, and some of the situations that people aren't thinking of? Everyone thinks often, oh, they're homeless because they had a bad drinking or a drug problem, but that's just not the case. Uh, in general, can you talk a little bit about who's living on the streets today?
Well, right now, the people that we have children. I mean, mothers with children, single mothers, most, and we get a lot that's living in the cars right now. So, and the children go to school, but they're living in that situation because they can't afford the rent, or otherwise. The next group is a lot of people who are just regular people who have jobs, but because of the housing prices, they're also not able to afford the housing prices. So homeless is something that is very new to them. So that we get all types. It's not discriminating against anyone. We just get every one of them. They have a story to tell us. So, but mainly the mothers with the children. That's heartfelt.
Yeah, I know that particularly for a fact because when they're living in their cars, they're trying to keep from having their kids taken into foster care. And so I know that there's a ministry out there that actually works with churches just to keep them off the street at night. So at night, from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., they will go from church to church to church through a South Florida ministry. And so those types of things are also available. And we can talk about that. I can tell you more about that. Originally, that was through Hope South Florida. But it's something that if you find a mom in that particular situation, that is a ministry that they were doing. They paused it during COVID a little bit, but I think they're doing it again. So definitely check with them on that. Talk to me about this need for this vehicle and uh, the difference that it'll make.
Okay, talking about the vehicle, yeah, we definitely need a new vehicle. Again, preferably a refrigerator enclosed truck because it would allow us to do so much more. We have contracts that we can do. Well, let me rewind it back. Last year, 2024, we gave over $20 million worth of food to our community. And we could have did more, but at the end of the year, because we had a problem with the transmission of one of our vehicles, that was the transmission was on a recall, and they didn't want to refix it, and we have to go through all the legal situation of getting that vehicle fixed. And now it has us at a real strain because now we're having to rent vehicles and just try to get it in, put it in cars and do what we need to do. So there's definitely a need for a vehicle, and we have a contract now, a new contract that we can take advantage of if we can get a enclosed refrigerator truck. So that is a need definitely, and we can do more this year, more than what we did last year. So we just, however, whatever an individual can do, whether it's donations or donate a truck. We've called a lot of the dealers in the community, made them aware as well. So if you know somebody out there that's watching this Newsworthy podcast, if you know someone, you can refer them to us or us to them. We would definitely appreciate that because there is a need.
Yes, there's definitely a need. And, I participate in several organizations like yourself that serve the homeless in South Florida. And every one of them has a line like the ones you have. Every one of them are filled to capacity. Um, and so I love the fact that one, you were collaborating with, Showering Love and the Broward Health and the church to help, fill the entire need. I mean, because that's
Yes.
the way it should be. It should be the whole community coming together and even to fill your needs. And like I said, a lot of people think the government takes care of their needs, but they don't. It's just not happening on the street level. There
Yes,
might, you know what I mean? It's not
I
happening on
agree with that. And to that point right there, a lot of people are saying, well, why don't they're getting paid to be out there, or the government is assisting them. They're a nonprofit organization. And so forth, so on. So many thoughts go into what the government is doing. And I'm here to tell you today that the government, we don't get anything from the government. We fund everything out of our pockets. And as Miss Lorraine, and our partner, which is amazing, Randall White. Um, we fund everything out of our pocket, and
Mhm.
from gas down to buying water, just to fill in the gap when there is no water available. Again, because different companies donate different things at different times. So, but when we need to fill the gap with sandwiches or whatever we need to buy and distribute to the people, that's what we do. It comes out of our pocket. And when you're talking about distributing $20 million worth of food per year, that's a lot of gas money. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of effort. Our partner now, Randy, which is the CEO of the company, he's out picking up food as we speak today, and that starts at 4 o'clock in the morning. Him going to different stores and just building a route and making that happen. And now it's even more difficult because we don't have the trucks that we once had, and participation. Because even with volunteers, when you get a volunteer out of their bed at 4 o'clock, at 3 o'clock to pick up when these stores are calling you, because if you don't pick up, somebody else will pick up.
Ah.
It's not easy, and it's
Mhm.
not, and it hasn't been an easy task. And so I just want the community at large to understand and know some of the things that we're dealing with right now. And because it's a misunderstanding that, oh, it's a nonprofit. Oh, we got thousands of people giving. No, we got thousands of people that are calling our office daily asking. And the fact of the matter sometimes that we don't have, but we pool and scrape up to give to others, to turn the lights on, to turn the water on, to make this happen, to make that happen as well, out of our own pocket. And we sacrifice our storage, I'm saying, our storage costs, and, things that we should be taking care of to get late
Safety
fees and
supply.
that to help others. So, yeah.
Yeah, it really is important for people, and I have to tell you, it's unfortunately it's not just you. This is the cry of the nonprofit world.
Yes.
One of the reasons I created Newsworthy Stories is because of the nonprofit world. The work that I was doing with Neighbors for Neighbors, same thing. They are born out of CBS 4, but they still have to supply their own um, donations. It is, that's the nonprofit world. They depend on the private sector uh, to supply and help them from time to time. So, or from every day, really, from week to week, and they are doing a great work, and the need is there. Lorraine, I want you to jump in because I have a question. That Edward was there when I have this next question, but I wanted to know if there's anything you wanted to add before I ask this question.
No, no, go ahead.
Well, I know that your founder, he was a veteran, and one of the military veterans uh, arrived, and he arrived a little bit late when we were filming, or we were on. I was on the scene there, and he was a Marine, and you could just feel the hurt. You know, he was like so emotional that he's like, the government promised that there would be no homeless veteran, um, period. And to understand that, and to know that, I know that you're going out of your way, and you're not, like, I know that you're not the only one, thankfully. But how do we get our veterans off the street? What are your thoughts on getting our veterans off the street? Not that anyone should be on the street, but how do we get the ones who risk their lives for us off the street?
To tackle that, um, it's just again, when we look at so many things that is going on in the government today, and how many billions that we're sending overseas to other countries to build other countries, but the guys and girls that has risked their lives, you know what I'm saying, for the freedoms that we share today, is homeless and feel like they have been um, given a bad bill of goods. Again, with the G, if you go back to the GI Bill and all the promises that were made, but when it comes down to it, even with healthcare, you know what I'm saying, for veterans, oh, the system that they have that put veterans off till eventually they pass away. And that's what so many veterans are dealing with. So how do we do that? Well, again, we have to make the government accountable, period. You know what I'm saying? We, the people, must make the government accountable, because when you look at, you know what I'm saying, the Pentagon budget, you know what I'm saying, and how many billions of dollars was unaccounted for this year alone, you know, for 2024 alone, something like $200 billion was missing. No, $150 billion, somewhere in that line, was unaccountable for. How do you unaccount for that type of money when that type of revenue can, you know what I'm saying, definitely take care of all the homeless that we have? So when you look at, you know, the things that is going on with our government, sending money across seas, and all that, and
I have to throw that out there. They do need money, but we definitely need to get the homeless off the street in every city, because it's a growing population. And
yes,
so we need, if I'm not correct, we need a law that says it's illegal to have a homeless veteran. In
yes,
particular, homelessness should be illegal, but not in the way that it's being done at this time. When I say, I don't know that you should be arrested for being poor, and I usually don't put my little opinion in there, but I, I was thinking about it after we met the other day, and I was like, when you were talking about how the arrests were happening and how fearful the homeless are at this time, and I was like, you should not be arrested because you're poor. You should not be arrested because you don't have. And I don't know. I don't know that that's legal. And so I
yes,
started to think about it like that, and I was like, is that even legal to arrest someone? That's how I started asking, and I'm asking this out loud because I want someone who's in legal to be able to answer that question. Um, is that even legal to arrest someone because they are without? And
right.
so I'm gonna, leave it on that unless you have something more you want to say. Make sure you reach out to a New Beginning community outreach uh, and participate. Don't just say,
Yes,
gosh, this is a bad situation. You can actually do something about it. If you are in, legal, help create um, a bill, to have it passed.
yes,
Um, that or challenge, if it is legal.
yes, and that's what they have to do, Jacqueline.
Mhm.
Challenge the bill. The bill was just passed in November, in Tallahassee, to make it illegal here in Florida to be on the street, to sleep on the streets. Yes, so it just went into effect last November. So
Mhm.
it's new. All the municipalities are trying to scramble and see what they can do, how they can do what they can do. But again, in doing that, it's now um, become unwelcoming to them, because they can be sued. According to the new law, they can be sued if a homeless, unsheltered impede on someone's business. And if I said, okay, I lost something, I lost money, because individuals were sleeping in front of my business. You know, I can sue them, and the governor gave them the right to sue that city for losses and
Oh,
damages.
see.
So that is the new law that's in effect. And so when you have that type of situation, and the legal department in all these cities are already overworked, and now when you add that extra layer of now individual companies, corporations can sue them as well. You know what I'm saying? That cuts into their budget as well. So
Yeah.
it's
Now
those.
that makes it clear for me because it always comes down to money. Yes, at the end of the day, it's unfortunate, but it always comes down to money. So in order to keep the cities from being sued, the homeless are suffering, and that's basically what I'm hearing. Um,
Yes.
let's figure
Yes.
out a better way. Let's.
So Jackie, what we want to say we have our book that we created to assist the
Thanks
homeless.
for reminding me.
Yes, we have a book that we created. It's called "Do You Appreciate Our Service?" Okay. The book is a great read. It tells you about PTSD. It tells you about some of the things that the veterans go through. It tells you about doctors that we've interviewed and what they say they need to assist the veterans. Again, so the contributions for this book will go to doing just that you mentioned, Jacqueline, is getting homeless veterans off the street. Not just homeless veterans, but we'll have a section for others, though. But we're mainly in this particular situation concentrating on the homeless veterans. Again, we're in the process of buying a hotel where we can convert into a shelter that deals with the mental part of PTSD, deals with retooling them to get back into the workforce. Because if you're not really doing technical situation, the workforce will be obsolete. So you have to retool right now. It's important to retool, because let's face it, AI is coming. It's here, and it is amazing. So that's a whole nother podcast, or story. You know what I'm saying? But again, we want to say that if we can get 1 million people just to buy the book, 1 million people buy the book, then we can solve that in the South Florida area. And the book is tax deductible. So it's a win-win situation. Make your dollars count. Buy a book, get educated, because it's a great read. And I'm not just saying it because I'm the author of the book. I'm just saying that it is, and it will help. It will help veterans in this areas and non-veterans alike. And that's a start, because this hotel has roughly at 200 and some rooms. The one that we're looking at that's still available here, that is 22, right at $24 million, another $9 million to remodel it. Yeah. And then another $10 million to operate it. So again, that is our need. If we just get 1 million people to commit to buy the book. I mean, if you go to usvetsupport.com, and purchase a book, purchase a t-shirt, that is the first start that everybody in podcast land, radio land, wherever you're hearing this broadcast from, can definitely pick up a t-shirt and a book, or just give a donation. We don't care. We don't mind if it's just $1. So yes.
Correct. And the book is available on Amazon. Okay. Just letting everybody. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you both so much for sharing this story. I'm sure we'll hear more, because when people do respond, please be sure to let me know so we can do a follow up story. We can share, the goodness of this community, or the goodness of people around the world, because you never know where your blessings are coming from. It's always somebody. It's less likely than you think who is the least person you think it's going to be. You know, and that's the beauty of life.
Yes,
And
yes,
so
yes,
I just want to thank you both for taking the time to first of all let me know the need that you had, and um oh goodness, Gail.
Yeah,
Thanks to Gail. As
yeah,
a shout
yeah.
out to Gail,
yes. Thanks to Miss Gail. Thank you, Miss
a
Gail. Yes,
marching
yes,
Miss
band
yes,
Gail.
mom that
yes,
I know, who volunteers alongside a new beginning community outreach, reached out to me and told them to call. So and they did. And so like I said, you never know
Yes,
where it's coming from. And so what? We had NBC covering you. That's just awesome. You
yes,
know?
yes, yes.
And
It's
so
awesome.
we appreciate um everything that helps get the word out. And we appreciate NBC6, WTVJ, and Bree Buckley for, starting us off. And
Yes,
what a great start it has been.
yes, yes.
So
yes.
Thank
thank
And,
you so
and
much.
thanks to you, because you get your kudos too, Jackie,
yes,
because
Jackie. Thank
you reacted in 24 hours. You
you.
made things happen. You turned it around and you made this situation happen. So thank you too. You deserve your flowers as well.
That's
And
right.
newsworthy.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So we'll keep spreading the word, and you guys have to help us keep sharing the story.
Yes,
Thank you
definitely.
so much for joining Newsworthy Stories.
Thank
Thank
you.